This is the Tier 10 Japanese tech tree heavy, the Type 71. It is the STB's bigger brother. And while on paper that sounds incredibly cool, in reality this tank definitely has some big weaknesses that can bring it down quite a bit. In today's video, I'll be sharing my thought process from when I first got my hands on this vehicle to now at about the 30 game mark. How I have changed my loadout and my playstyle regarding this tank. Let's start off with the loadout. Originally, I was running an aiming device in the firepower slot, I was running rammer, and I was also running improved hardening. However, after playing this vehicle quite a bit, I have noticed that it just has its modules damaged like crazy. It almost feels like you're driving a Chinese-style tank. It's very irritating. Every single time you poke or get shot in the hull, your ammo rack gets damaged. I've even run safe stowage on the vehicle on a directive because I don't have it trained. It doesn't matter. The vehicle just has its modules damaged. I got shot in the side, lit on fire, and then after I had repaired the fuel tank and burnt half my health away, I got lit on fire again. So the vehicle has very weak modules, and I would highly recommend that instead of running improved hardening, you actually think about running modified configuration. I don't think the HP is that important on a tank like this when its major playstyle is hull down. You're relying on the turret armor, not necessarily getting bounces on your hull, so I don't feel like the at least HP of the vehicle is too much of a pressing issue. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind and I'll go back to improved hardening, but for at least right now, I've had my modules damaged too many times to allow me to feel comfortable driving the tank. I also decided that this thing needs a turbo. It is just so dang slow. 35 kilometers per hour is not fast enough for a tier 10 heavy. So running turbo is able to reach 40 kilometers per hour and 19 in reverse, making this actually a somewhat flexible vehicle. So definitely changed my loadout from the original design. The major thing I can say that I've changed is the way I drive this tank. The original idea I had is this tank could go pretty strong toe-to-toe with vehicles like a Super Conqueror or even a Kron due to the hull-down capabilities. However, that's just not the case, mainly because of the hatch on the roof and the fact that the mantlet is only about 350 millimeters thick. That sounds like a lot, but let me make my way over to battle hits and I'll show you why it's not. You see, on paper, the armor looks very strong. This is a T110E4 shooting 375 millimeters of gold against the Type 71 turret. And look, it's all red, 600 mils, 500 mils. The only weak spot is right here at about 374. It looks like this vehicle is incredibly well armored while hull down. And yes, it is, but there's a problem, and that is the mantlet. You see, the mantlet on the vehicle ranges from around 330 to about 400 depending on where you're shooting. But that's it, 330? I mean, that's not really that impressive. And it means that actually the majority of premium shells from tank destroyers or even high penning heavies can cut through your mantlet. Super Conch, FE2 and 5e, I've had the occasional shell just scroll right through my mantlet, which is obviously a pretty big weakness. And look at that, E4 directly through it, fully hull down. So there's one thing you should keep in mind while using this vehicle, and that is, yes, the armor is incredibly strong, but against high pen APCR, you should really be careful because you can be cut right through the mantlet. The other weakness this vehicle features, well, it's a pretty simple one, the hatch. See this shell that a Super Conqueror fired at my hatch? It basically fully missed, but guess what? That is still a pen, at least to what Wargaming says, 419 damage on me. That is incredibly cringe, and it shows just how weak this hatch is. It does have some moments of troll if you hit it right on the flat part, but for the most part, if you hit the hatch, it's going to pen. And this really defeats a lot of the hull down capabilities, because the vehicle sacrifices, as we can see, almost all of the armor. I mean, look at this, fully hull down. The vehicle's like 250. Even AEP shells can cut through this vehicle, basically from any tier 10. And it's just a little annoying that this hatch is also just a super easy pen for anybody that shoots it. And yeah, it's pretty annoying. We can see that we actually shouldn't have gotten penned here by where the Super Conch shot us, but clearly Tanks GG is incorrect on the armor highlighting because that shell went right through our vehicle. The major challenge I have personally had when it comes to the Type 71 is that I come from World of Tanks Blitz, which is a very aggressive game. You can get any heavy, whether it's an AIM X50B or heck a Concept 1B, and you can play it frontline as long as you know the correct positioning. The thing is, this vehicle really can't play frontline. When you're fighting tier 10s like the 60 TP or a Super Conqueror, like those are just two basic examples. This thing crumbles when they push it because yes, you have good DPM and you have good armor, but you're only good when hull down. The moment your opponents realize that you might not have that much cover from teammates, or they can just drive out a little bit, trade 400 for 750, that's when this vehicle starts to fall apart. So it's a tank that you want to play very, very passive early game. And you really only want to play aggressive once you know that you're going to win and you're able to farm with your HP. So with that being said, let's get into some gameplay and see what the type can do. Okay, here we are on Staps. We are going to stick with my basic loadout, which I just showed you guys in Garage, and we're going to head over towards the left. I'm going to stick with my other Type 71. Looks like this player as well is not running improved hardening on his vehicle. It is a little disappointing how little the HP is on this tank as well. That is something else I should point out. This tank only has 2,270 HP, which means that, again, if you're fighting vehicles like the 60 TP, or honestly any tier 10 heavy, ST2, IS7, IS4, they're going to be sitting upwards of 27 to almost 3k HP for some of them. Heck, my ST2's 2,900 HP. And that's something you're going to have to keep in mind again, is that his vehicle's got a lot less hit points than other tier 10s. So right now, I'm going to chill back here. My Type 71, he's going way in. And while I do think that it is a admirable decision for him to push up, we don't have much support. Look at our line. We only got a Stritzvon, an Object 140. There's just not much covering me here. I don't want to throw my vehicle. In fact, overpoked, but we're good, we're good. Back up, back up, back up. I'm not getting bled today. Okay. We got a little lucky. The Super Conk missed us, especially because that vehicle is so accurate. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to take what I got and be happy. We're going to start loading gold ammo. That's one of the downsides of tier 10. But when every single game you're fighting a Super Conk, you basically have to load gold. Okay, well, I don't know. We got some teammates behind us, but it's not a lot. I'm going to be real. Okay, well, we got the E5, and let's see if we can use that accuracy. Bonk, slapped right in the hatch. Thank you very much, good sir. All right, not a bad start. Not a bad start at all. I'm glad I'm chilling over here, because it's just a decent position for us to hold. There you go, the Yag Panthers decide to drive out. Let's aim it on the Yag. Unfortunate. While this vehicle has very good accuracy when allowing it to use that, 0.25 dispersion ability, the problem is that ability is only active for when your vehicle has less DPM. If you're shooting on reload, the tank's damage per minute is going to be higher, but your dispersion is going to be much worse at around 0.37 for my current loadout, which is actually pretty bad. So, a little unfortunate. We got the Super Conk in the back. Not able to really hit him. Penning a Super Conk is just so annoying with a vehicle that only has APCR. That wasn't a great shot for me, I'll admit, but oh well. As long as we don't bleed health, I'm not going to complain. We got some assistance damage on the E5. Alright, well, we're up to 1,200 damage, and our Type's doing an okay job, but you can see he has bled a lot of health. I'm just glad that we're able to support him here to at least enough that the enemy's not really able to push over. It's that Super Conk that's the problem right now. Let's aim it on his roof, and shell goes really not where we want it to. Thankfully, looks like we get pretty lucky, and the skunk does not cut through our vehicle's hatch. We're going to aim it on the E5, and looks like that went right into his hatch. Just, I guess I wasn't loading gold, so we're not going to pen it. That's a classic wargaming moment there. Snap! You know what? It hit. I'm not going to complain. 387 damage into the TVP. Thank you very much. Alright, well, the Super Conk can't really do anything to me here. And I think I'm going to go for it. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. We shouldn't be spotted too much longer, and I think that it's just absolutely beneficial to make our way up here. So go, 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 go. Alright, we're fine, we're fine. Nobody's pushing us. The only thing I'm a little worried about right now is the Jagdpanther. I don't know where he is, but he couldn't have left because the type would have spotted him, so he's got to be right around here. Let's load some APCR. Hello? Hello, there you go. Easy shot into the Yag, and look at that. A bounce for 1,050. Alright, that's pretty nice. The Yag's on reload, so we're going to get to the side of the Skunk. Easy shell into his vehicle for 406. And now we back up. Okay, well, the Yag's poking again. Not really sure why, but good thing I have gold loaded. Easy pen right into his lower plate. Just like that, we're up to 2,700 damage. Alright, well, let's see if we can get one more pen into the Super Conqueror. Bunk. There you go. Okay, not bad. 3,100 damage dealt, 847 assisted, so 3,900 combined. It's a pretty solid result. They have a Minnow, Object 140, and then we can also see a Leopard 1 and Grill all the way in the back. And... well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't always love pushing up here. We're going to win this, though. I mean, you can see that our team is doing a pretty good job on the 1-2 line. I mean, you can see right here. They're doing pretty good. And then while that's going on, we have been able to win our side, which is also really, really good. So I don't really have any complaints. We got the TVP in the back, and... we're just chilling here. Ah, yes, and there it is. The classic Artie shooting me because I'm camping, clearly. Oh, well. Well, we're going to aim it on the Minnow, and while my vehicle might be stunned, we're just going to hope that the shell goes where we aimed, and look at that. Went directly where we aimed. But look at that. Artie shoots us again. Unfortunate. Well, we've lost about half of our health at this point, but hey, no modules damaged, so at least modified configuration's working pretty well. The Bat Chat misses the third shell, TVP pokes, gets spotted, and we get a nice 420 damage shell into his vehicle. Alright, well, we're up to 3,500 damage. We've assisted 1,600, and no complaints. No complaints at all here. We have bled a bit of health, but that's alright. As long as we're able to keep the majority of our health, we should be okay. I'm a little worried about where that Minnow could be. Oh, there's the Minnow. Okay, well, if the Minnow's not too much of a threat, let's aim it on the Object 140. Nice! I don't know where it penned. Probably went into his lower plate, maybe overmatched the sides, but I'll take it. 4,000 damage dealt now. Let's aim it on the 140 again. And fire. Nah, shell doesn't go where I want it all. And a 4005, who hasn't been spotted the entire game, shoots at us. Well, not really much I can say about that, nor could I have done much to counter it, but it's fine. We only got hit for about 385, and I'm not going to complain, because that tank can roll a lot higher than that, but looks like we were able to absorb the burst with our turret. Alright, we got the 140. Let's wait for him to turn his turret. There you go. Easy clear into his vehicle. Thank you very much. Alright, 4,200 damage. Let's just see if we can pick up a little bit more before this battle ends. There's the 4005. Let's aim in on his roof. There you go. We waited just the perfect time for our .25 dispersion to kick in. And look at that. There's the Artie shooting us once again. Man, that guy has an absolute boner for us, bro. I mean, whatever. We did 4,700 and we got the Artie killed. So I'm not mad, just annoying, especially because we can't repair our stunning right now. But let's wait a teeny bit. There you go. Easy shot into the grill. 435. Okay. Not bad. 5,175 damage dealt. And all that's left is a Leopard 1 and an E100, which we are never, ever going to be able to get. Pretty solid game. I'm not going to complain at all. Alright, we actually hit that blind fire on the Minnow. I'm not going to complain. 5,500 damage dealt, paired with about 1,700 assistance. That's almost 7,200-ish in combined. That's actually pretty good. I'm surprised that's only a second class, to be completely real, but... yeah, as we can see, the Type 71 is a decent tank. It definitely has its strengths. When it comes to the gun, especially the special mechanic going for it, it can be very nice. But there are also situations when you'll drive this vehicle on flat maps where you're like, oh boy, this is not exactly what I want. I think it's a very fun and engaging playstyle, and I'm going to have to mess around with it in the future some more. I'm just a big fan of the vehicle's looks, especially because it came out World of Tanks Blitz before it came out here, which is the game that I started from. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this vehicle. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? I would give it a solid 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5. The problem is, there will be games when you needed armor. There will be games that you needed armor, and you'll lose because of that. If you were in a Super Conqueror, you would do better. And that's really the best way to describe this tank. It's a worse Super Conqueror with slight advantages on its uniqueness. For example, the Super Conk has 10 degrees of gun depression. This has 12. But the only way to use the 12 is the hydropneumatic suspension, and it's very wonky. So in reality, it's actually more like 8 degrees until you activate the suspension. Not only does this vehicle have wonky hydropneumatic suspension, but you get this super cool mechanic, 0.24 dispersion. That's crazy. But you also have 0.37 if you're shooting to get good DPM and punching through your opponents. So again, like, it's got these great things going for it, but the Super Conch just has a solid 10 degrees of gun depression. It has better armor on the hull. It has better turret armor for the most part, and the Super Conch has a much better gun. Not only a DPM, but overall accuracy because of the way it works. So while I can say this is a fun tank, I think the Super Conch is just kind of better, and if you want a vehicle with high DPM with this type of gun depression, just play an STB, because you'll basically get the same bounces. It's a fun tank, but it definitely needs a bit more armor in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Bye-bye.